Here we go. All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. Hope you are all doing well here on this Thursday. We have got a lot to dive into, a lot to get into, and I want to hear from you all. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Here on the Daily Crow. Of course, I'm Chris Phillips of the Spurs Up Show of the Daily Crow. As always, again, appreciate you all tuning in. I see Brian Lattimore, Brendan M., Carolina Titan. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Let's see. Is something going down on Facebook? Is everything good on Facebook? My chat does not seem to be showing Facebook comments for some reason. Let's see. I might try to refresh this really quickly. Muschamp Hackers working hard here early on a Thursday. Let's try. Here we go. Okay, now Facebook should be good. If you're on Facebook, now I can see your comments. For some reason, Facebook comments were not showing up. Let me know that you are on Facebook. I mean, obviously, Facebook is a very big part of the Daily Crow and what we do, and obviously, it's one of the biggest platforms in regards to viewers. And yeah, I see it. I see it live there. Gonna appreciate you all. I see it now. Leonard Matthews, Luke Boyd, Joseph Walker, David Vinson. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Adam Ritter, Panic Ritter. Of course, Panic Ritter is here. Panic Ritter's here. I have no clue why the video quality would look any different than normal. Wi-Fi is connected as normal. You guys let me know if there's audio issues, video issues. We should be good. This is as normal. Nothing has changed except that I took the MacBook out of the studio and put it in tin roof last night. So again, apologies there if there's some video issues early, but either way, we're rocking, we're rolling here on a Thursday. And again, guys, this is a big show today. Want to hear from you because on today's podcast, I have officially dropped my way too early predictions for the 2022 football season. And again, I want to hear from you all, your thoughts, your questions, your comments as well on the 2022 football season, your predictions. Again, I'm locked in. I want to make sure the phone lines are open here on a Thursday. Also, guys, on the podcast, got a fantastic interview, great conversation, former Gamecocks defensive line coach, and a legend in his own right, Brad Lawing. That's on our Big Cock Club Patreon. So, again, be sure to check that out. Really, really good stuff from Coach Brad Lawing. Yes, phone lines are open, guys. Again, we got a lot to get into. Before we do, though, I want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because, of course, as always, the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys, they're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Get involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be. The last thing that you should be dealing with, worrying about, dealing with paperwork, the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you guys. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, am I not seeing comments? Because I haven't seen a comment since 12:02. It's 12:05 now. I'm wondering, where are your comments? Where are your comments? I do not see the comments. I don't know where the comments are. Again, I want to continue to hear from you, though. I do want to hear from you today. 843-790-3377. If you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel, the TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered. And again, I don't know if the Mustang Packers are playing with my emotions today or you guys are asleep, but I'm not seeing comments popping up. Let's see. Justin Langford, patreon.com/bigcockclub is where you can find the Tin Roof conversation as well as that redistributed today for the interview. That's on patreon.com/bigcockclub. If you don't got it, get it. And if you ain't gonna get it, you ain't gonna hear it. I don't know what to tell you. Either way, again, I'm not I'm not seeing Facebook comments. Let me refresh one more time. All right, I just refreshed one more time here. I don't know if the Mustang Packers, again, are playing with my emotions, but I'm not seeing Facebook comments. So, again, if you're on Facebook, and want to be sure that your comments are seen, probably head over to YouTube. I'm only seeing YouTube comments right now. My guy P-Doc, what's going on? How you feeling today? Kevin C., biggest question mark for 2022, or bigger question mark, O-line or wide receiver? With the return of Josh Vann, I think you got to say it's offensive line. With just how bad the O-line played, it's got to be offensive line in my money. It has to be. It has to be. Jay Frew, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. What do you think about coaching vacancies? Well, we only have one, correct? With the linebackers coach, and I got to be honest, Frew, I'm not too worried about it. I think Shane Beamer will hire, a very good replacement. I'm not worried about it at all in regards to who he's going to hire. So, yeah, like I said, guys, I'm actually on Facebook myself looking at the comments. I see that there are Facebook comments. Guys, I don't know why your Facebook comments are not showing up in the chat. They're not showing up in the chat for some reason. I'm not 110% sure why. Sometimes this Melon platform is, the Mustang Packers get a hold of it. Sometimes the Mustang Packers do get a hold of it. So, again, I do apologize, guys, if I'm not seeing your comments on Facebook. Again, I do see Justin Langford, Justin Bell, Hunter Herlong says, I think you can chalk up 3 losses and for sure 4 guaranteed wins with 5 toss-up games to try and chalk up W's. Yeah, and that's exactly how I had it, Hunter Herlong. Again, we can dive into that much more. Again, I'm locked in, guys, or at least locked in right now. My way too early predictions for the 2022 football season. I'm sitting right now at 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC, which, guys, I think would be a fantastic year. And I don't think there's many folks who would disagree. OU owns you. Excuse me. OU owns you with a great question. Excuse me, gosh. He says, do members of the Big Cock Club get merch or any welcome packages out of curiosity? I think I may join today. So OU owns you. You're going to spoil the surprise on me. So I have not, honestly, OU owns you done that in the past, but I do have koozies and I have stickers. And what I'd like to start doing, yes, OU owns you. For all those who are already in the Big Cock Club and those who join, I want to send 3 things specifically at minimum: a koozie, a sticker, and a handwritten thank you note. So, surprise, surprise, that is something I am implementing. If you join the Big Cock Club and if you're a member currently, I will be sending that over to you, a free koozie, a free sticker, and a handwritten note, if you will, just to say my thanks and appreciation, guys. So again, yes, OU owns you if you do join the Big Cock Club. I can't send, or I don't really have the capability right now to send any merch for free, but I will at least send that mini welcome package, care package, if you will. So yeah, Jay Frew says, do you think Greg Atkins is going to retire? Rumor is health reasons. Yeah, a lot of smoke around that, Jay Frew, and it wouldn't shock me at all. So there's a lot of smoke around that. I think that's probably going to happen. Again, guys, if you're wondering why I'm not getting to your comments and questions on Facebook, for some reason, For some reason right now in in the chat, I'm not seeing Facebook comments for whatever reason. I don't know why Facebook comments are not showing up. Lindsay Hagler, I see you commenting. Brian Dean says, I hope we get Mario Williams. I'm actually literally on Facebook with the comments pulled up. So I'm trying to read your comments as I go. So again, if you want to make sure your comments are seen, either comment them in the Big Cock Club Discord or head over to YouTube and you can comment them there. Jay Frew, how do I join the Big Cock Club? Let me post the link here for you, Jay Frew, and everybody else as well. Because again, the full conversation with Coach Brad Lawing is on the Big Cock Club. That dropped this morning. And again, guys, I want to tell you this, a little bit different because we had the conversation at Tin Roof. The plan moving forward, as you all know, the podcast drops at 5 a.m. across all channels, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. The plan is to schedule and drop the interviews at the exact same time. So you guys that are in the Big Cock Club, you'll see a notification. Podcast is dropped, and you'll see, boom, Patreon interview is dropped. Because whenever we drop content on Patreon, you get an email immediately. So, again, if you did not know, all live streams of the Tin Roof live shows, 5 to 7 on Wednesdays, those are now behind the Big Cock Club wall. And all new and unique interviews as well are behind the Big Cock Club wall. And again, we got some very big interviews upcoming with some Gamecock football players who just finished up their careers, a certain South Carolina quarterback who's going to be on campus in a few weeks. Got some very, very big conversations upcoming. So, again, you want to make sure that you join today. OU Owns You says, RIP Chris Phillips' toilet after the mayo eating. Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough look. That was a tough look. Justin Langford says you make it more enticing now, so it's $9.99 to join the Big Cock Club. Yes, $9.99 a month, or you can sign up for an annual membership, which you get 10% off when you do that. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Dave Garrett.
Dave, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well.
Appreciate
Had
it.
a quick question for you. With all the buzz around Beamer and the buzz with Spencer, do you think there's a chance that ESPN might bump our game to Thursday night since that's opening weekend? I'll take it off the air. Have a good one, man. I'll see you soon.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you so much. I'm assuming he means the season opener. Do they bump it to a Thursday? That would be awesome. I got to say that would be, I know some fans are not huge fans of the Thursday night games and I kind of love it. And again, I'm not saying I want to do it on a yearly basis like Steve Spurrier did, because there's obviously challenges to going to Thursday games and folks work and stuff like that. But I'd love it. I'd love it personally. I love the Thursday night games. It's awesome for your program to put your program on a national stage. Obviously, you get all the attention. You're the kind of the the game of the night, if you will. So I'd love to see it. Does it happen? I mean, it's I do think that South Carolina, we will be must-see TV because of Spencer Rattler. Again, I talked about the impact of Rattler. Obviously, we know on the field, what he did for South Carolina, or what he's going to do, for South Carolina. But the national implications, making South Carolina must-see TV, that's a huge part of it, man. That's a huge reason why the Rattler pickup was so big, honestly. So it puts the Gamecocks back on the map. It puts South Carolina football back in the national spotlight for a positive reason. So, it could happen. They could move it to Thursday night for sure. Again, guys, I don't know why I'm not seeing your Facebook comments. I'm really hating this, to be honest with you, because there's so many of you that tune in via Facebook. I'm going to try to refresh one more time. Again, guys, a lot of times it's just the Melon platform, which we are on. So we stream via Melon. Again, my good guy Phil, who's tuned in, my good buddy Phil. What's up, Phil? Appreciate you. He understands the struggle of these streaming platforms. They certainly have a mind of their own. So if Yeah, I don't know why. The Facebook comments, they're just not showing up. I'm actually on Facebook right now looking at your comments. Brian Dean says, I would love to see Carolina Clemson on Thursday. Back in the day, it was known as Big Thursday. Indeed. Yeah, I'd love to see it as well. I mean, I think it'd be cool. Not every year, but, just to do it for kind of a throwback. The fact they didn't do it like the 100th anniversary of the game, put it back on Big Thursday. I think that that would have been cool, but, whatever. Lance, what's going on, baby? How are you? Appreciate you, my guy. John Crew with Dak Joyner signing this NIL deal. Pretty much means he's coming back, because why would he sign an NIL if he wasn't coming back? Yeah, I mean, John, that's a really good point. Also, though, to what Brad Lawing said, the point that Brad Lawing made, where would he go? You know what I mean? He's not going to the league. So, yeah, I wouldn't say he's transferring at all. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, great to see it, though. I expected Dak Joyner to return. I know we kind of had some conversation around it, if you will. But, glad to see that, he signed that deal, and great for Dak, by the way, to get that deal. And, yeah, I fully expect him to come back. Always did. Phil Harris says, whatever happened to Canadian Cock? Yeah, so my guy Noah, he's still rocking and rolling. He's actually a freshman at South Carolina right now. He's still helping us with merchandise. Yeah, he's just busy. Honestly, Phil, he's just busy, and I don't even think he's making content for like his own channel, if you will. So, man, listen, making content's hard, and staying consistent is hard. It's very hard. So, Noah's obviously, again, still helping us with merchandise, and he's doing a fantastic job. But, yeah, the Canadian Cock, whatever, if you will, that segment of content right now has been put on pause because he's just so busy with school. So, yeah. P-Dawg, projected starting rotation this season. Yeah, I think Sanders, Bosnick on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I don't know. It will – that's a wide-open job. Maybe P-Dawg, maybe you can start on Sundays. No, I mean, it's wide open. Sundays are wide open. Just got to find that guy through preseason practice, and I would not be surprised if a couple of guys, fight for that job and maybe get opportunities early in non-conference as well. Let's see again, guys. If you are on Facebook commenting, I cannot see any Facebook comments for whatever reason. I'm trying to pull them up. I've actually got Facebook pulled up in front of me. Travis Lee, I see you. Brian Dean says, Chris, do you think we get the big receiver from James Madison? I see that we offered him. I think you got a good shot. Again, when you got Spencer Rattler, when you've got Spencer Rattler recruiting for you, you got a shot to get all these guys. Who doesn't want to catch passes from Spencer Rattler? So let's see. Again, guys, podcast dropped this morning. Episode 571, big show today. Dropping my way too early predictions for the 2022 football season, as well as a fantastic conversation and a great interview that dropped this morning with former Gamecocks defensive line coach Brad Lawing. That is on the Big Cock Club. Join the Big Cock Club today to get all exclusive access to all of our Tin Roof shows, as well as all of our new and unique interviews that we do. $9.99 per month, or you can join in an annual membership and get 10% off. So, we're also going to distribute tons of clips on social media over the next 2 days or so from that convo. So, no need to fear. The content is going nowhere, but if you want to hear the full conversation and see the video, that is exclusively on the Big Cock Club Patreon, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. But again, guys, a lot to get into. I have dropped my way too early predictions for the 2022 football season. So, if you want to go through those, guys, we can, because I want to hear from you. I really do. I feel like this should be a big day in regards to calls, comments. My guy, Jay Frew, by the way, joining the Big Cock Club. Appreciate you, Jay. Normally it pops up on the screen. Again, Mellon is the Muschamp Packers have gotten a hold of Mellon for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. Here we go. I'm going to go through my game-by-game predictions. Just going to fire these off with no context, and then you guys can ask questions away. Here we go. So, the Gamecocks, of course, opening the season on September the 3rd. Down the list, I've got the Gamecocks beating Georgia State, losing back-to-back games to Arkansas and Georgia, then winning 3 in a row against Charlotte, SC State, and at Kentucky. Then the bye week hits. You're 4-2 at the bye week. I've got the Gamecocks losing to Texas A&M, then winning 4 straight against Mizzou, Vandy, Florida, and Tennessee before falling in the season finale at Clemson to finish the season 8-4 and 5-3 in conference play. So that is my way to early predictions. 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC. And I will say this, again, 2 things. Number 1, these predictions are subject to change, okay? They are subject to change because it's literally January. These are not in concrete, in dark ink predictions. These are way too early predictions. So we got to go through recruiting still. We got to go through spring ball. We got to go through summer. And then in July, right before SEC Media Days, I will drop my predictions officially for the season, okay? I will drop my predictions for the season. I will lock them in for the season. I will drop them for the season officially. So these are subject to change. On that note, on the show today, guys, I gave my wins, toss-ups, and losses, as well as my best case and worst case. And I see Lance commenting, says you hit the nail on the head. Appreciate that, Lance. Cheers to you. I've got 8-4 in my way to early predictions. I'll say the same thing that I said going into last season when I had 6-6, and I said this was a team, if I had to gun to head pick 5-7 or 7-5, I would go 5-7. I'm the same way with this upcoming year. Right now, if I had to pick what's more likely, 9-3 or 7-5, I would say 7-5. I think the schedule's very tough. Phil says I don't see us beating Kentucky at Kentucky. Very tough game, Phil. Very tough game.
Call
Let's start with the
from
phone lines.
Colin Davis.
Here we go. Skyland, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Good. I was calling to give you my early predictions.
Yeah, dude, I want to hear it, man. I want to hear from everybody. What's going on? What you got?
All right. How you been today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Just hanging out. Yeah, great day to make some content, man. We got a huge show. I mean, anytime you're talking predictions, if you will, and also it's a week since the Duke's Mayo Bowl, which doesn't feel like it was a week ago. But, yeah, man, great day to have a day for sure.
All right. I want to be positive for a change because I am very negative when it comes to Gamecock sports. I mean, I have a reason to be negative. There's really been
You're a beaten, battered, and bruised Gamecock fan. You are.
Yeah, like there's no
like many of us.
I want to be positive, but I haven't had reasons to be positive in years. So I want to change it up a little bit. I want to put some positivity in my life. I bet people just like listen to me like, there goes that negative Nancy again.
I'm gonna start calling you Negative Nancy. I'm gonna start calling you.
Well, you haven't had no reason to be positive in my eyes because I'm a more realistic fan. And your prediction is realistic, but I have us beating Georgia State.
Mm-hmm.
At
Shocker.
Arkansas, tough one because we was a few games away from winning a couple more games. You were 6 points from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You played a little bit better versus Missouri. You should have beat them. I mean, there are some games that could have went either way. So I'm leaving Arkansas as a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to go on, more than likely, I'm going with a loss. Obviously, you lose to the Dogs. You beat Charlotte, you beat State, you're going to beat Kentucky, going to get dogged by A&M. You should beat Missouri, you should beat Vanderbilt, you should beat Florida. Tennessee, the toss-up, but I want to go to win because it is at home, and it will be senior night. Then, obviously, I'm going with an upset versus Clemson. And the reason why I'm going with an upset versus Clemson, this past year, I just feel like we did our job. The defense was good enough to beat Clemson this year. Really, they scored 30, but your defense was on the field the whole time of the game. The whole time. If you had some type of offense, there's some type of offense to give your defense a break, to put some points on the board, to make a play and hit Clemson in the mouth, we possibly could have beat Clemson this year. Possibly.
Mm.
So I'm going with an upset versus.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised. So what's your final record? What is the overall final record?
Okay. 1, 2, 1.
My guy didn't add it up before he called it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I hate to ask you to do math here on this Thursday, but
I want to say this: a failure season in year 2 of Shane Beamer will be 7 wins.
a failure season.
Will be 7 wins. Yeah, because you have everybody coming back. You have a lot of experience. You're gaining some good guys in the transfer portal. Clemson's going through a lot of changes. Florida went through a coaching staff change. You got State, Charlotte, and State again. Kentucky lost a lot of people. You should beat Missouri. You should beat Vandy. Tennessee's a toss-up, so I can see between 7 and 10 wins this year.
I think that's fair.
The offense does what they supposed to do. Now, I might be a little hard saying 7 wins is a failure season, but if you just look at the schedule and just see what other teams are going through, you're just kind of like saying, there's no problem we shouldn't get more than 7 wins.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hear you. I mean, I'm hesitant to call a 7-5 season a failure of a season, because again, I think let's just forget 2021 ever happened, right? Let's just look at 2022 for what it is. This is not an easy schedule, okay? Georgia State, Charlotte, SC State, Vandy, 4 dubs. 4 dubs. Just go ahead and chalk it up, 4 dubs. Confident in saying that. You got to go to Arkansas. Tough game. Georgia's tough game, obviously. At Kentucky has been a place you have not played well, and they've beaten you 7 out of 8 seasons. A&M,
Right.
You've never beaten before. I think Mizzou, I think that's a W at home. I've kind of sold my stock on Missouri. I know they beat you last year, but they're not very good. Then you got to go to Florida, on the road in the swamp, never easy. What will Billy Napier do? They're one of the biggest mysteries in the SEC. Tennessee's got Hendon Hooker coming back. They stomped you at their place. And then you're asking the Gamecocks to go to Clemson and beat a team they have not beaten since 2013. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, I'm already on record for 8-4. I'm just giving you some perspective that, again, to call 7-5 a failure of a season, I think is aggressive. I think it's aggressive. And when the over-under win total drops, whenever that might be, I don't think it'll be more than 7. I think 6.5 is probably where it'll be. And everyone is going to hammer the over. Maybe it'll be 7. Maybe it would be 7.5. I don't think so. It's a tough schedule. I mean, again, I'm not going to use that as a crutch, but it is a tough schedule. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah.
I put my best case scenario. You start talking about South Carolina winning 9 or 10 games. I just think that I love it. I love the passion of Gamecock fans, of Gamecock Nation. Let's not let the Duke's Mayo Bowl make us lose perspective on this season, this team's deficiencies, what happened. I mean, this team finished 7-6, as close as it was to, people saying we could have won 8 games this year. Well, we could have also won 4. So
exactly, and that's why I was not too happy with Shane Beamer when he called the fans out saying, "This is why I don't fire people." Like, you beat a very, very, very bad North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Lowing told us last night that UNC was terrible. I mean, their defense was atrocious.
And then you put Joyner at quarterback, and North Carolina never prepared for that. So basically, he got hyped over a bowl game and called all the fans like, "This is why I don't fire nobody. This is why." Dude, outside of that game and maybe Florida, your offense was horrendous. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And if it goes like this, Shane Beamer might be writing his own check out of South Carolina. If I know he's keeping Satterfield. When Satterfield comes back, and it's like this again, and he just making himself look stupid to me. That's why I'm just like, the dude showed you nothing. He didn't know what he wanted to do. There was just way too many substitutions on the offensive side of the ball. Way too many. You never had a set one guy. Never had a set wide receivers. Never had a set running back. And if you fail again on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to have to fire him next year. If you don't, you're writing your own way out of here too, buddy.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to do that. I want him to be successful. I feel like we have the right guy.
Yeah. I would just say this. I would say this because, again, it's funny how – and, it's just funny how where I sit and where I stand and what I do has evolved and changed because I feel like now I'm sort of the guy that is here. My role is to reel Gamecock fans in and to keep expectations realistic for the sake of Shane Beamer. Because I think fans – I mean, listen, that's one of the reasons I actually – if you follow my content, I love the offseason. I love the preseason because all hopes and dreams and aspirations are still out there. They're still out there until you get into play and week 3 you play Georgia and they smack you in the mouth. And then you come back crashing down to reality very quickly of, oh, well, we're not there yet. And I'm not saying that, I'm just giving an example. Year 2, I still just – it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. We still have holes and deficiencies on our roster. We still have areas on our roster we need to upgrade. Now, with that being said, Shane Beamer doing what he did with the roster he had in year 1 with basically no quarterback and getting 6 wins and 7 with the bowl game, you'd like to think there will be an increase in the record next season. In 2022. But again, I just caution fans when you start talking about, well, if we beat Georgia in week 3 and we can compete for the SEC champion, like, just relax. Relax. We're not there yet. I'm just here to tell you we're not there yet. And it's okay, but we're not.
I do not believe in Marcus Satterfield. I would never believe in Marcus Satterfield. I do not believe in Frank Martin, and I'll never believe in Frank Martin. That's just my opinion, and other people have their opinions. But to me, and I think Kurt Roper, B-Mac, and Mike Bobo are better offensive coordinators than Marcus Satterfield because they did more. And people say, well, we had Jason Brown. Well, we had this. We had that this year. Give Marcus Satterfield a pass. So what, guys? So what? To me, in my opinion, we had the same talent as we did last year with Mike Bobo, except for Jason Brown and Colin Hill was different. And you lost to Darius Hutcherson last year, but everybody else came back. The offense was terrible. You couldn't get nothing going. Run game was terrible. Pass game was terrible. Offensive line was terrible. So that just tells me your scheme was terrible because Mike Bobo, at least he could run the football last year. At least we did something last year. At least we could move the ball last year in the run game. You might have not been good in the passing game, but at least you could have done something because all phases of the offense this year, you was bad. outside of maybe 2 or 3 games.
Well, listen. The beauty of it is this. You got Spencer Rattler. You've got Spencer Rattler. So if you don't have success offensively this year, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. So that's the positive, at least. There's no excuse.
Well, I'm just going to let Marcus Satterfield prove me wrong. I mean, I can call in and complain, or I'm just going to have to sit back and just watch him go to work. Maybe he gets it right. Maybe he knows what he's doing. And maybe he is this offensive guru. And maybe he is. And I want to compare him to Muschamp. Maybe his scheme is just too difficult for these guys to handle. People say this is a professional offense that gets you ready for the NFL. Maybe it's just too complicated for college guys at this level. Just like Muschamp's defense was too complicated for the guys at our defense.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna find out for sure.
Can't wait. Honestly, I honestly can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to skip baseball season to go.
Oh, come on now, relax. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Come on now.
Well, as always, I'm about to hop off. Fire Frank Martin. Fire Marcus Hatfield. And go Cops.
Appreciate it, Skyland. Thanks so much for the call, man. Great stuff. 843-790-3377. Let's get back to your comments here. Cody Gaskins asked in the Big Cock Club Discord, any word on the Georgia defensive lineman thinking about transferring to Carolina that you talked about a few months ago? And again, I talked about this exclusively on the Big Cock Club. No word there. We'll wait and see. Cody Gaskins also asked, has Oscar Delp signed his LOI? Yes. If you're thinking about maybe possibly a switch, then I would say no. No, he's headed to Georgia. He's headed to Georgia. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. If you're wondering why I'm not getting to quite as many Facebook comments, for some reason, on Melon today, the Facebook comments are not showing up in the chat. I have no idea why. Let's see. AJ Bowers is causing a stir in the comments. And Alyssa also comments and says, let's see. What if they don't, though? That's the state's motto. While I breathe, I hope. That's a very appropriate state motto for us, by the way. Very appropriate state motto. AJ Bowers, though, comments and says, let me get back to the initial comment. I don't see it anymore. We can definitely win 9 to 10 games this year. Y'all got to look at the weak opponents we face. Also, a lot of the changes with the other teams. We could catch a lot of teams off guard. Let's set realistic expectations, AJ. 10 wins, 10. Think about what you're saying. Again, I listed wins, toss-ups, and losses. And my toss-ups were these. At Arkansas, at Kentucky, against Mizzou, at Florida, Tennessee. 5 toss-up games, okay? My losses in dark black ink right now, Georgia, A&M, at Clemson. With your wins being Georgia State, SC State, Charlotte, and at Vandy. So what you're saying, AJ, okay? Let's paint the picture here. I'm not calling you crazy. I'm just painting the picture. What you're saying to get to 10 wins, or even 9 and 3. South Carolina is going to win all 4 of their games I have listed as W's with no problem. They're also going to win every single toss-up game that they have. That's what you're saying. They're going to win every toss-up game. Every single 50-50 ball game. Hey, let's throw Mizzou in there as a W. Fine. They're going to win all 4 of the toss-up games. That's what you're saying. Is that not a little bold? I think it is. You just think about it. I'm not saying you're crazy, but We went 6-6 in year one. Great job by Beamer. Let's. All I'm saying is this: we all want to go 12-0, but let's not set an unrealistic bar in year two. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Brian Lattimore.
Brian, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
Chris, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
Not much. Just wanted to elaborate on your predictions. I wanted to start off by saying I completely agree with every game that you picked. I got us 8-4. I think it's a very realistic expectation. I think a lot of it kind of depends on the X factor. Obviously we have Spencer Rattler out there recruiting for us. If he's able to pull, a top receiver or two in the portal, or we're just able to sign, somebody, a difference maker in that position, get some offensive linemen, I think our outlook might change a little bit. I think we might be able to steal another game or two. But as it sits right now, and obviously that's what we're making our predictions on, what we have, I think that's 100% realistic. And, we can kind of go down the game list. There's a couple here and there that you can kind of talk about a little bit further, but I definitely agree with what you said so far.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I was going through the predictions, and it's, it's interesting now that, I feel like I sort of have a duty and an obligation to a degree to set realistic expectations. Because if I was out here, we had a great year one under Shane Beamer. But you may not think it was a great year if I'd have picked us to go 9-3 in year one and then we went 6-6. So setting realistic, again, life in general is about setting realistic expectations. Most people just get all in a twist and in a bind because they set unrealistic expectations, right? So proper expectations are very important. As someone who used to work, before I did TSUS, worked in the corporate world in sales, right? You set proper expectations. Expectations are very important. So I'm also, I'm damn near tempted to pick 7-5 instead of 8-4. I just want to set realistic expectations. Because again, is 9-3 possible? Yes, but I have it listed as my best case scenario. There's a reason it's called a best case scenario. That means everything works out. I'm not saying it's impossible, but here's the thing. I just want to make this point as well. Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, even Mizzou, Florida, Tennessee, they're all getting better also. We're not the only team that's getting better, right? We're not the only team that's improving. Everybody is trying to win. So I just make that point to say, I think we're a couple of years away in regards to competing with Georgia or winning 10 games. But, again, you add a guy like Spencer Rattler, he now gives you a chance to win every game, really, truly. When you have that dynamic player, if it's your day, it's possible, right? So I feel, again, it's way too early predictions. It's way too early. So take it for what it's worth. I feel good about 8-4. I think it's very realistic. I think it is very realistic. Do certain things have to happen? Do you have to improve in certain areas? Absolutely. But again, adding Rattler was a huge piece of that puzzle. And, it's there. It's there. Right now, again, way too early. I would label the Kentucky game personally as the biggest game of the season. Because, again, I go back to this. We can talk about beating Clemson. We can talk about beating A&M. We can talk about beating Georgia. And it's fun to beat those teams. It would be fun to beat them. It certainly would. But, man, and I know this might sound very disrespectful because I know we've had UK fans tune into the show and call in. And they're probably rolling their eyes if they're, for whatever reason, tuned in today at me saying this. But here's the harsh reality and the truth. You're not a real contender until you can beat Kentucky. You're just not.
Not wrong.
You're not a real contender. We don't need to beat Clemson. But shocker, we don't need to beat Clemson. We don't need to beat A&M. We need to beat Kentucky and Mizzou on a yearly basis again. Flat out. We just do.
Yeah.
Because until you can do that, you have no business worrying about Georgia. None. Guess which two teams you didn't beat in 2021? Kentucky and Mizzou. You had a great year, but we've got to get back to beating them on a yearly basis. We have to. Guess who's been to more SEC championships than South Carolina? Missouri. That can't happen. It just can't happen. And they didn't join the league until 2012. It just can't happen. You got to get back to beating them on a yearly basis. That's why I would list, again, Kentucky. I would say it's the most important game of the season. And again, I feel like I've put as much respect in the Cats as any Gamecock out there because, hey, they won 10 games, bro. I mean, Kentucky's good. Will Levis is back. You got to go to their place. So, 8-4, very realistic, and I'm going out on a limb and picking you to beat the Cats in a place that you've played like complete shit over the years. You've never played well in Lexington. But, listen, I think 8-4 is very realistic. But, again, I just calling the season a failure if you go 7-5, that's to me, that's very over the top. I think that's very over the top. And, again, you obviously didn't say that, but anyone out there that would say, as long as you're making bowl games, I think you're on a positive trajectory. Just because you don't win 10 games in year 2 doesn't mean that, oh, my God, the Shane Beamer, tenure is doomed. I mean, it's going to take time. But you can go 7-5 or better in year 2. I think you succeeded.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I look at it, the way of, I think you have to go over 500 in your swing games. And that's kind of the big thing there. You continuously win those swing games, and eventually what you look at as a swing game kind of changes its definition. Your swing games are no longer your Missouris or your Kentuckys. Your swing games are now your Georgias and Texas A&Ms. So that's kind of where we need to get to is, stay consistently over 500 in those swing games until they're no longer swing games. We're back on the positive winning against a Kentucky.
Yeah, you can't list Kentucky and Mizzou as wins in dark black ink until you start beating them. Like, do I think Mizzou is very good? No. You got them at home too. I was very tempted to put that as a W. But at this point, you have to put it as a toss-up because guess what? You haven't beat them in 3 years or however long it's been. So, until you earn, we've earned the right to say Vandy's a dub. You know why? Because we haven't lost him in a decade. So you got to consistently beat them. I mean, people get all upset and pissy with, why do you not list Clemson as a toss-up? Well, bro, you haven't beat them in 8 years and none of the games have been close. You got to get to the point where you earn that from me. I'm not going out on a limb and picking the upset just to do it. Bro, the average margin of defeat has been 27 points. I mean, I believe in Beamer. I believe in Rattler. But, man, hey, let's just make the game competitive again. Forget winning. Make it competitive. So, you got to get, when you're, again, we all hope for the same thing. But when you're making predictions and you're putting yourself out on a limb, you got to go with knowns and known commodities and proven things, So.
Yeah, I think what's important to think about too next year, every year almost, it seems like we're able to pull out a win that we're not supposed to, right? So there's probably going to be a game on our schedule that we're not supposed to win. Then we go out there and we play a really great game, we end up winning. But then, generally speaking, on the opposite side of that too, there's a game we're not supposed to lose, that we go out there and lose. So it's all about figuring out which one of those, kind of fits those bills. I would love to go out there and beat a Georgia, that we're playing at home. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. But, is it realistic? Can we pick it in the preseason? No, obviously. But we also have to think about, there was, 3 games this year that we were 7+ point underdogs that we were able to pull out. Mm-hmm. So Beamer's he's shown us that he's able to do the preparation, in the weeks going up to a game to put us in a position to win. Mm-hmm. The players buy in, the coaching staff buys in, the program as a whole buys in, believing that they have a chance going into the game. So that's huge when you start, increasing the talent. You may not be the most talented team on the field, but if you have that preparation, that belief that you're going to go into that game and win, it goes a long way. So if he can continue that mindset, continue that positivity going into those games, you might shock some people.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, again, it's college football. It's unpredictable. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, I look at a game like Texas A&M, my most likely big upset, and I'm getting way ahead because this is stuff I'll talk about in like July. But when I look at the season and the game that stands out to me is the most likely big upset, I think A&M's a possibility coming off a bye week at home. I know they're going to be very good. They're going to be loaded. They're going to be way more talented than you, but, at home, off a bye, never know. So there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of potential. But like I said, I think setting realistic expectations is very important. And let's not lose sight of that we are literally going into year 2 against a very tough schedule. I mean, again, it's the SEC. You want to complain about the schedule, go somewhere else. But it is a very tough schedule. And to say that 7-5 will be a failure, that to me again is aggressive. I'm not, again, you didn't say that, but I'm putting that out there. Let's not lose sight.
I'd be happy with the 7-5 personally.
Right. And here's the thing too. Think about this. The way you win in college football, style matters. It does. Style matters. Style points matter. The way you win is just as important as how many you win, right? There were a lot of fans that were disgruntled about a 6-6 season, regular season, because of how you won. Kicking a game-winning field goal against ECU, beating Troy by 9 points, having to rely on a game-winning drive against Vandy. 5 of your 6 W's were come from behind. What if you go 7-5, but you beat the shit out of all your non-conference outside of Clemson and you handle Vandy, right? All of a sudden, the season feels a little bit different, right? That 7-5 feels a lot better than that 6-6, even though you only won one more game. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why I say let's just forget 2021 even happened, because you have to look at these seasons individually. I think it's a dangerous trap you fall in when you say, well, we won this many last year, so we have to win this many this year. No, each season's different. Teams you play are different. The rosters are different. A lot of situations, the coaching's different. So, how you win, I think, will be the biggest difference, honestly, in 2022. Again, I don't think you'll beat Vandy by a point. Let me just go out there and say that. So how you win, I think, will be different.
I think we'll definitely have a lot more consistency going in the next year. And I know your last caller was big fire of Marcus Satterfield, whatever. Let's be realistic here. Year 1 of a coaching staff, you got to give the guy a break. With as many question marks as we had, to finish the season the way that we did, there's only positive momentum from there. And you're getting a lot of better pieces out of that puzzle next year. So another year in the scheme, you get some better pieces to add to it. There's no excuse to deal with the same moans and groans that we dealt with this year. I think we'll see a much better product on the field in every phase of the game. Hopefully the defense is at least, a status quo, and your offense has no reason but to get better. No reason but to get better. I would say twice as better, with as many question marks as we had as, quarterback and whatever. There's just no excuse for it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I'm not the fire Marcus Satterfield kind of person.
No, for sure. I mean, here's the beautiful thing. Again, there will be no gray area for Sat. You got your quarterback. If the offense doesn't work, there's one guy to blame. There's one guy to blame, So I think that's a great situation to be in. And again, it was, let's call it for what it is. I wish Coach Ford was in here. It was wise of Beamer to bring back Sat. Because like I told you, worst case scenario was never Satterfield returning. The worst case scenario was making a change for the sake of it and the second guy not working out. Because it's kind of like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Hey, you can get the first one wrong. No biggie. And if the offense doesn't work in year 2, now guess what? We're not going to be coming for Beamer's throat. We're going to come for Sat's. Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying he's looking at it that way, but I'm just saying that works out well for Shane Beamer, I think. So, hey, I hope Sat is here for the next 10 years. Because if he is, that means the offense is clicking. Yeah, the offense is clicking. right? I said the same thing about Muschamp. When people were coming at my throat for calling for his job, I said, hey, I hope Muschamp's here for the next 10 years because that means he's winning. I don't give a damn who the coach is because if we win, selfishly, business will be good. I don't give a damn who the coach is. Doesn't matter to me. We win, business will be good. If we win, life will be good for all of us. We don't really, at the end of the day, care who the coach is. So, anyways.
People don't quite realize that you don't have a ton of time to make decisions during, or make changes during a season either. It's not like
right. You're worried
you go
about
out there and you just look like
you're worried about game
total
planning.
shit against Vandy and then just completely change your whole scheme in a week for the next opponent. It's not how it works. Yeah. It seems like a long season and the fact that it's 3-4 months long or whatever, but you can't just change a scheme. You're kind of devoted at that point. You're sold based on what you've been practicing for the entire off season and the entire season that you're going on the field. That's what you've been doing. You can only make minor adjustments from game to game. So I think that was the benefit between our last game at Clemson to go into the bowl games. We had a whole month to go out there and redo the scheme. So it shows me that he has the mindset of saying, hey, I understand this wasn't working. We got to try something different. And we saw it throughout the season too. He tried different things here and there, but you can only try so much.
Yeah.
You can't redevelop the scheme in a week. So the fact that he was able to throw a different product on the field in a month and it looked completely different and it clicked on all phases. And I know UNC's defense isn't the greatest, but with better talent next year, there's no reason in my mind that we shouldn't be able to be competitive on the field on the offensive side of the ball.
I agree. There's really no excuse. There's really no excuse.
All right, man, I'll leave you there, and appreciate taking the call.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Go Cox. Appreciate it. Good stuff. 843-790-3337. Guys, we are going to jump into a break really quickly. Perfect Game, by the way, has released their preseason top 25. We'll talk about that. I also want to dive into more of your questions, your comments, and your calls on the 2022 season. Again, it's never too early as we close the book on the 2021 football season. It's never too early to look ahead. How will Gamecocks football fare? Again, I'm locked in my way too early picks. These are subject to change. I will not officially lock in my predictions until summer. But I got 8-4 right now. 5-3 in the SEC. Your thoughts on that, your predictions, anything else you guys want to discuss. Again, I want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3337. 7 more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well here on this Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Appreciate you guys' continued love and support. Let's see. Of course, national title game on Monday. collegefootballnews.com released a ranking of the bowl games. How good were the bowl games? Let's see. Where did they rank the Duke's Mayo Bowl? Let's see. That'd be one of the better bowl games, I think. Let's see here. They got a long list. I think we're probably going to be like top 15. Oh, here we go. Nope, 23rd. 23rd. They ranked the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Says it was a Waken Bowl for most of the country, an 11:30 Eastern start, and it turned into one of the most puzzling of the entire bowl season. The SEC and South Carolina fans will certainly take it. All of a sudden, the Gamecocks became explosive. Kevin Harris and the running game were great. Dak Joyner hit all 9 of his passes. The team got out to an 18-0 start. Ended up cruising from there. The game wasn't that great, but in terms of it being a marking point and a possible changing event, it mattered. So, I mean, the game really wasn't competitive, which is awesome. So, Alyssa with a very good question, actually. Very good question. I know, Alyssa, I know what the answer is going to be, by the way. But here's Alyssa's question for you all, and I'd love to get your feedback on this. Poll in the chat. Would you rather take a 6-win season where the win over Clem sucks, or an 8-win season with another 30-0 loss to Clem sucks? Alyssa, it's going to be hands down a 6-win season. Hands down. Not even close. Not even close. By the way, guys, if you're commenting on Facebook, I do apologize not getting to your comments. For some reason, the stream today is not showing Facebook comments. I have no idea why. The Muschamp hackers are active. They're out and about. I have no clue what's going on. But let's see. Bruce says on Facebook, I'm actually on Facebook looking at the comments, I've been a Gamecock fan for a very long time. Most, not all of the best, most enjoyable seasons have been when everyone thought we were going to be terrible. Most of the really bad years have been when everyone thought we were going to win a lot of games. Hearing fans talk about 9 or 10 wins is a setup to a tough year, even if we win 7. And again, Bruce, that's a very good point. And that's why I said earlier, setting expectations is it's key. It's absolutely key, right? Setting expectations in anything in life is very important, but especially when you're talking Gamecocks football and having realistic expectations. Better to be surprised in a positive than a negative, right? So I'd rather pick 7 wins and win 9, you know.
Brandon.
All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
To accept.
Brandon, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. Hey, I was just calling to chime in on Alyssa's question.
Mm-hmm.
I'd honestly take the 8-win season and a loss to Clemson. Yeah, we want to beat Clemson, but if we're winning 8 games, that means we're gaining on the SEC, and our chances to making it to Atlanta are getting better. And when we finally reach Atlanta, we should have no problem beating Clemson.
That's a very Spurrier-like mentality, and I think it's the right mentality to have. Like you said, I think the Gamecocks, the best thing South kind of can do right now is worry about themselves and just worry about improving their football team and improving in the SEC. And if you do that, like you just said, my guy, you do that, you start really competing for getting to Atlanta. Beating Clemson's going to handle itself. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Clemson, I know they say ACC. Clemson's not. They're not an ACC team anymore. That's just the conference they're in. Yeah, they lost a couple ACC team games this year that they haven't lost in the past, but technically their quote-unquote down year, if you call it that. But they're not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, honestly, if you put them in the SEC, I mean, I might be stupid saying this, but they'll finish top 3 every year, top 4 with the path that they had. But after the season.
Right. No, again, I think your perspective is very solid, and yeah, I would agree with you. Actually, I'd take the 8-win season. I would take the 8-win year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that was my thoughts, man. I'll let you get back to the air. So.
No, I appreciate it, man. Great stuff. I appreciate the call. Have a great rest of your day. 843-790-3377. Guys, I'll tell you this, and some of you are not going to like this. I'll be totally honest with you. You're not going to like this mentality, this thought process. I mean, I love shitting on Clemson. I do. I love it. It's fun. I love the fact that we can just we can get under their skin so easily. I love South Carolina Clemson in baseball. I think it's the best rivalry in all of college baseball. We own Clemson in baseball. It's a lot of fun, right? Beating them in baseball is a blast. And I love a good rivalry. I really do. But I got to be honest, the Carolina-Clemson rivalry in football, and does this have to somewhat do with the results of the last, 7, 8 years? Sure, certainly. But I'll be honest with you guys, when I come into a season now, the importance of the Carolina-Clemson rivalry is so far down my list. It's the rivalry doesn't carry the same weight anymore in regards to the actual game. We all want to win it. No kidding, right? We all we were all sick to our stomachs walking out of Williams-Brice this past November. But, for me, the Carolina-Clemson rivalry, it's not the end-all, be-all anymore with Gamecock football. It's just not. And I think, again, part of that has to do with the results on the field. When a rivalry becomes so lopsided that it's one-sided, it loses its luster. It really does. And I hate to say that. I really do. But I guess really the only way to stomach it and to, deal with it, I just think having this mentality of worrying about what they're doing, we need to take care of us first. We need to take care of us. We take care of us, all that other stuff will take care of itself. But personally, guys, I'd rather beat the Kentuckys and the Missouris and the Tennessees of the world and move up in the East than get some random win against Clemson. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. We've beaten Clemson before. We've never won an SEC championship. That's where I want to get to. And if you're competing for an SEC championship, that rivalry stuff, it's taking care of itself. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Herbstreit.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Robbie, what's up, my guy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking.
Huh?
I said I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking. What's going on?
I would rather have a 8-win season and lose to Clemson because, like you said, you start winning just games on a regular basis, everything else will fall into place if you just give it some time. I completely agree with that, 100%. And I would be okay with a 7-5 record this year, to be honest with you. Or this coming up year. I would be okay with it. And I just believe that, like I said, we're going up instead of down. And as long as we can somehow keep going up and make sure we stay up and not be down as far as, getting better, I truly believe we could wind up in the future winning 8 to 9 games on a regular basis. But that will be difficult because we play in the toughest conference in college football.
Yeah, again, I think anybody labeling a 7-5 finish in the regular season with a chance to win an 8th in year 2, anybody labeling that as somehow falling short of expectations,
that's not a failure.
It's not Gamecocks football that needs fixing. It is your expectations that need fixing. Again, I say the same thing I said going into year 1. Those who were about to fall off their rocker in year 1, as we were on pace for a 6-6 year. Hey, it wasn't Gamecocks football or Shane Beamer that was broken. It was you. It was you for setting improper expectations of thinking that South Carolina was going to win 8 or 9 games in year 1. And we tried to tell you you were insane and you didn't listen. So I'm here to tell you again, hey, whether it's way too early or a day before kickoff, this opinion won't change. If you're setting expectations of 9 or 10 wins, you're the problem. It's not Gamecocks football. You're the problem. Your expectations are faulty. Let's all be surprised in a positive manner. Because, again, if you set expectations of 10 wins and you win 8, is it a bad season? I mean, that's foolish. That logic is twisted. So, anyways, not to get off on a rant, but
no, you're good. You're good.
Having proper expectations is important.
And there's nothing wrong with setting expectations, but like you always say, make sure your expectations are legit and real. You know what I mean? Like, and what I meant by going 6-6, I didn't quite get to the bowl game yet, but we finished the regular season with 6 wins, and we were supposed to only win 3, maybe 4 tops.
3.5 was the over-under in Vegas. Yeah, 3.5 was the over-under in Vegas.
We won 6 games in the regular season and lost 6. I truly believe that if a couple of things would have went our way and a couple of the losses, I think we could have been 7-5 or what have you, but it just didn't, and that's just the way it's got to be. And we just got to get better for this coming season, and just take it stride by stride. And when we get knocked down this coming up season, all we need to do is just dust ourselves off and just keep climbing the mountain, because eventually we will get to the top.
I agree. Keep trucking along, like you said. Keep climbing. Yeah. Keep chopping. Yeah. So it's going to be a process. I know patience isn't a great, or isn't a popular word amongst college football fans, not just Gamecock fans, college football fans. And again, I'm not here to kill anybody's hopes and dreams in January, but it's just realistically to build competitive depth to the level that we need. It's going to take some recruiting classes. Right. It's going to take some classes. I mean, Brad Lawing said it last night. You don't want to take my word for it, take his, right? So, we'll get there.
How did the show go last night, by the way?
It went very well, my friend. Thank you. It went very well. Brad Lawing's an absolute legend. We had a blast.
Good. And, for instance, until the 2010-2011 baseball season, you really think I was expecting South Carolina to win a national title in baseball? No. Did I know that we were good at baseball? Yes. Did I ever think that we were going to be good enough to win back-to-back national titles in 2010 and 2011 and then be back in the title game or in the title series in 2013 or 2012? No, because of who we lost. I was like, there's no way we're going to make it back to the finals. There's no way. And then somehow, lo and behold, we got to the title games again in 2012. But the entire fact of us making it to the final series in Omaha shot the baseball team to places it's never really, until that point in time, that it's never been. And ever since then, we've We've been a powerhouse in baseball.
Right.
Am I wrong on saying that?
No. Certainly, I would agree. One of the best programs in all of college baseball. Yeah.
And it's just like for instance, whenever Spurrier first got to Columbia, Lee Corso, love him to death. He's getting up there in age, but I love him to death. He literally said that, I watched it live. He said Spurrier will not win at South Carolina. And what did Spurrier do? He won. It took some time, but he won games. In 2010, I truly believe if it wasn't for Cam Newton, we'd have won the SEC.
Yeah. It can be done. It can be done, Robbie. I do believe that it can be done. And I think Beamer, there's a good chance he's the guy for the job. So it can be done.
And I rewatched the East Carolina game, last night. And they showed a list of all the coaches that Beamer was under while being an assistant. He was under his father, Spurrier, and several others that would be on the college football Mount Rushmore, okay? The only person on that list that obviously is Bear Bryant, which that was way before Beamer was probably even born. But you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The list of coaches that they showed, like, he's learned a lot from all those coaches. And he's going to use all the stuff that he learned to help build our football team back to where it used to be in 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2013. I truly think I really do. I think he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you hired him, right? We believe he's the guy. So only time will tell, but exactly. We believe he's the guy. By the way, Robbie, before I let you go, Peyton Dawkins wanted to know about your cats, if they had showed up lately.
They are back, believe it or not. I heard one of them while I was fixing lunch.
The cats are, while you were fixing lunch, the cats are back.
I was fixing lunch and I heard a meow. I was like, oh no.
What did it sound like specifically? You heard a meow. Is that correct?
Like, it was kind of like a low but deep meow. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's I don't know what kind of sound that's supposed to be, but I knew it was a cat, and I was like, oh God, they're back.
A very elegant sounding meow, apparently.
Yeah, so I was like, and I thought to myself, I was like, you're lucky. I'm too afraid to go underneath this house, because if I wasn't afraid to go underneath the house.
All right, Robbie, by the way, are you scared of cats? I'm curious.
No, I'm not afraid of cats. Okay. But as far as like what's underneath I don't know what's underneath the house.
Could be more than cats.
Yeah, there could be. But I don't want to find out. I want to stay above ground. So, but yeah, I just,
I'm surprised Uncle Boudreaux hasn't handled the cat problem. I feel like he would be a gentleman that would take a pistol.
They always show up whenever he goes in.
Take a pistol and handle the cat issue. I don't know. I feel that.
Speaking of Uncle Boudreaux, he's got a show tomorrow in Easley.
Beautiful. Love a good segue.
So, yeah, he's got a show tomorrow in Easley. I don't know the location or the time, but it's
but you know it's in Easley.
I'm just not gonna.
It's in Easley.
But I know it's in Easley.
Very good. Robbie,
the original plan, I was not.
Robbie, I have to make one final request before we let you go. You mentioned a meow of sorts of this cat. And the audience, believe it or not, needs an actual impersonation, if you will, from Robbie Davis himself of what, and I'm also curious of what this meow sounded like. Can you give us an idea exactly what it was you heard during lunch while you were?
God. Who asked for it?
Everyone.
Oh my God.
Everyone.
Well, I don't want to disappoint the people at the Spurs Upshow. Okay, I don't want to do that.
Specifically, Alyssa, P-Doc, Phil, Brian Lattimore, Derek Geddes.
Basically, the other two amigos of the three amigos, as I've called ourselves, the three amigos of the Spurs Upshow.
The three caballeros.
Okay, I will do it. I will do it for their sake and for you. Okay, and for you, I'll do it for you.
Right.
Okay, so it kind of sounded like a really deep like meow, and I was like, what the heck? I honestly was so freaked out. I looked underneath the table in my kitchen. It literally was so specific that I thought it was underneath my table in the kitchen, but it's underneath the house.
I mean, that cat might as well be paying rent, my guy.
I freaked out. I was like, should I get the handgun just in case a cop or in case a cat pops up from underneath the floor? But I was like, okay, I don't think I freaked out. I almost called my dad and I was like, Dad, where's the gun? We have an infestation of cats, and I don't want to, be dealing with this because I've lost sleep because of these stinking cats. So.
Well, like I said, I think we got some folks in the old Daily Crow chat that would be happy to come over with a pistol and take care of your issue. So, you ever need a guy? I'm sure we can find someone.
Yeah, that would come in. That would come in very handy.
You give Pete Hawk a 12-pack and a pistol, some good things will happen.
He's happy.
I think so. I really believe that.
Pete Hawk, 12-pack and a pistol.
That's all Pete Hawk needs. Hell will break loose.
Oh God. Oh Lord. So you give Pete Hawk a 12-pack and a pistol, and all hang breaks loose.
Yeah,
huh?
that's all he needs for Christmas: a 12-pack and a pistol.
Well, I know what I'm getting him for Christmas: a 12-pack and a pistol. But yeah, everything's good. My dad's still in a little bit of pain, but he's good. Once I figure out like what time the show is, I'll let you know just in case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely let me know.
So, all right, man. You have a great rest of your day, and everyone else in the live chat, you do the same.
Robbie, appreciate it, my friend. Always a pleasure. Meow. A very deep, elegant meow. I knew it. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. 798-437-90-337. Phil says relocation would also do the job. Just saying. I don't know. I just wanted to be dramatic. I actually like cats. I don't have an issue against cats, but I don't know. Anyways, we really just at this point need to give Robbie like his own. Like honestly, Robbie could have his own show that's a part of the Spurs Up show. You see what I'm saying? We'll do the Daily Crow noon to 2, and then like the Robbie Davis happy hour 5 to 6. I think that would be actually legendary, to be honest with you. Scavenger says, how'd your no drinking go last night, Chris? Well, dry January's over. Held it together, though. Had a good night. No big deal. Held it together. Good night. Very fun night. Got to talk ball with Brad Lawing for a few hours. But dry January's over. So we made it a whole 6 days. So fantastic. You know, when you're surrounded by people like Pete Hawk and all my buddies at Tin Roof, they just said that wasn't going to happen. So I think I might go dry January except for Wednesdays, give myself the hall pass because it's just impossible. It's just impossible. We were sipping on some IPAs last night. Had a good time. Got to meet some great people, great folks. Brad Lawing's a legend, as you all know. So, by the way, guys, again, I want to continue to hear from you. We're talking predictions. We're talking, hey, by the way, Gamecocks women's basketball with a big game tonight. Don't want to leave them out. They play at LSU, 8 o'clock. LSU, the 13th ranked team in the country. So, South kind of looking to get over 500 in SEC play back on the road. So, very intriguing game there for the women. Go women Gamecocks in Baton Rouge. By the way, guys, again, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. I want to continue to hear from you. Like I said, your predictions. I got 8-4 locked in. Again, I don't know how to even follow up a Robbie Davis call. Such a legendary call it was. Meow. The Cats are back. Breaking news, the Cats are back. Questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break, guys. We're going to take a quick break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Phil says, Robbie Davis must be at the next 10 roof. I want to make it happen. Scavenger says, P-Dawk, you're an influencer. Yeah, P-Dawk's an influencer. It's honestly, there's a lot of pressure hanging out with somebody that's so famous. Brandon Watt says, we have beaten Georgia more times than Clemson and Kentucky in the past 12 seasons. Isn't that crazy? Wild. It is actually wild. Again, guys, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls, 843-790-3377. I want to continue to hear from you as I've dropped my way too early 2022 predictions on the podcast today. Also, fantastic conversation that dropped today with former Gamecocks defensive line coach Brad Lawing. If you want to hear that conversation, be sure to join the Big Cock Club today. Patreon.com/Big Cock Club. That's patreon.com/Big Cock Club to get access to all of our future conversations and interviews. So you want to check that out. Over at the Big Cock Club. Sorry, guys, just get into this message. Let's see. Back to your comments here. Back to your comments. Phil says, P-Dawk, I will pay for gas money if you pick up Robbie and bring him back after 10 roof. No takebacks. Chris Chandler, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Jay Smith, what's up? Like I said, guys, if you're commenting on Facebook, I do apologize. I'm trying to get all those comments as much as I can. But for some reason, the Facebook comments are not showing up in the chat. I have no idea why. Let's see, guys. A couple of quick updates. Again, the podcast dropped this morning. Daily Crow rolling on as normal. Gamecocks basketball. Isn't it crazy? Gamecocks basketball plays Saturday at noon, by the way. Saturday at noon. Tip-off against Vandy. So, got a bit of an early one. Let's see. Again, guys, my way too early predictions of the 2022 football season are out. I've got 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Would love to hear your thoughts. I got to be honest. I felt like I was being pretty optimistic. I felt like I was being damn optimistic when it came to my predictions. I think 8-4 would be a fantastic season. A fantastic season. Is 7-5 more likely? Probably so. I'll be honest with you. Probably so. Nick Marshall says you're being very optimistic. Way too early predictions, I guess. I think 8-4 is realistic. I think it's very realistic. Again, I listed best case, worst case as worst case 5-7, best case 9-3. Twan Love Kicks has 9-3 as his prediction, and that's fine, but I think that's the best case scenario. You're not going to win more than 9 games. You're not. Breakin' 7, he says preseason ranking. I don't think you're ranked in the preseason. I think you're a fringe top 25 team. I don't think you're ranked in the preseason, though. So, beat Georgia State week 1 handily. Maybe you are 24th, 25th going into Arkansas. Alex says, how bad did us losing Mike Peterson realistically hurt us? think we'll be fine, man. I mean, again, I don't want to make light of, he was a good coach for sure. But I mean, I feel pretty confident we can replace a linebackers coach. I'd like to believe we won't have an issue replacing a linebackers coach. Just my 2 cents. Nick Marshall says, just being realistic, but I'd love to see us at least go 6-6. I mean, listen, man, Nick Marshall. I think there's 4. I think there's 4 guaranteed wins on the schedule, so we're not going to go 4-8. And again, 5-7 would be absolute worst case. I mean, and when I say worst case, I mean worst case. So, 5-7 is worst case scenario, in my opinion. So, Pete Hawk says, if we lose to Vanderbilt, I'm on the Fire Martin train, and I ain't getting off. It's a big game. It's a very big game. There's no way around it. It's a very big game. I don't know at what point I will start calling for a change. I mean, listen, I do think at the point that it's evident that you're not going to the tournament, I will start to say, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Again, guys, great day to have a day here on this Thursday. By the way, new cap, who is this? Don't forget the comma. Great day to have a day here on this Thursday. Can't believe it. This week I feel like has flown by the way. Flown by. Week has flown by. Already Thursday. January the 6th, 2022. Great podcast and Daily Crow upcoming tomorrow, guys. Can you believe it? In about a week and a half, we'll start talking baseball. Isn't that crazy? In a week and a half, we'll start talking. 43 days until opening day. Wild. Hey, in just 12 days, we'll start the countdown. I'm anxiously awaiting Gamecocks baseball to drop their, literally just their scrimmage schedule. It's when are we scrimmaging? I'm ready. I'm ready to get to Founders Park. Anyways, Pete Hawk says, I think it's just ridiculous to only add to the roster that went 6-6, get 1,000 times better at quarterback and do worse than 6-6. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter who the coach is, who you have, anything less than a bowl game is a very disappointing season. So, indeed, I think the goal is 7-5 or better. Sven Webster says, how I'm looking at it, we got 7 wins this year with everyone coming back, and Rattler, we shouldn't regress, and the schedule is about the same. Well, yeah, you trade off Auburn for Arkansas, which is a much tougher matchup, but yeah, I think 7-5 or better is a realistic expectation for the year. Sven also says a little bit nervous about tonight, playing a team with 14 wins. Has anyone heard who's missing? No, I know Dawn said we're going to be missing a few. I don't know who there are specifically. Alex says, Vandy's got Scottie Pippen Jr. Indeed, they do. As Robbie would say. Yeah, they got Scottie Pippen Jr. Let's see. Travie, as far as I know, DJ Swearinger is not done with the NFL. No, he's not done playing. Breaking, has Cam Newton played his final snap and or game for the Panthers? I don't follow the NFL very closely. Wouldn't shock me. I don't really think the Cam Newton thing went as they hoped it would. And it's crazy, man. I lived there. I moved there August of 15. I moved there the year they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. So Let's see. Nick Marshall says, if anyone's interested, I'll be in the corner slapping dick. Nick, that's not exactly how the slap dick thing works, but you know what? Either way, whatever. Whatever. Is what it is. Is what it is. John Kruger says, Cam Newton's been terrible. DJ Swearinger is my favorite team. The Colts practice squad. Indeed, I hear you. Again, guys, great podcast that dropped this morning, episode 571. Talking way too early predictions for the 2022 football season. Also, great conversation via the the Big Cock Club over at our Patreon, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Brendan Patrick on Facebook says, I predict we go 8-5 with a bowl win. With men's basketball, my realistic expectations is around 18 wins per year. 8-5 would be a good season, man. I think it would. Savannah Webster says, Arkansas had a bunch of super seniors. That team will look different next year. Savannah, they're still going to be good, and it's at their place. They're going to be good. So, Arkansas is going to be a good team. They're on the up and up. They're on the rise just like we are. So, again, 843-790-3377. Robbie Davis texting him says, my prediction for tonight, South Carolina 85, LSU 74. I think it's a very fair prediction. I think that's a very fair prediction. P-Doc says Cox 72, LSU 51. Be a big win. Aaron Gibson, Arkansas has lost 15 guys to the transporter. I mean, listen, they're going through change for sure, but it'll be a tough game. At Fayetteville, it'll be a tough game. I think so. Again, these are my way too early predictions, and they are subject to change. They're subject to change. I would almost guarantee you they will change to some degree. I think they will change to some degree. Again, I will lock in my official predictions in July. So, guys, I know we just took one, but we are going to take one final break here on this Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. I want to continue to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 8 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow this Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. And again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. It's truly, man, it's a pleasure to chat with you all each and every single day. I think back before the Daily Crow, and I really don't know. I don't know what we did. I don't know what we did before the Daily Crow, man. I really don't. It's become such a staple, such a part of my day. And that's one of the reasons why we're continuing to do, the 10 Roof shows on Wednesdays. It's become such a staple in my week and my routine, what we do, and something I'm truly love and I'm passionate about. So again, guys, I really do appreciate you all for tuning in each and every single day and rocking and rolling with the content and everything we do. And yeah, it's a blast, man. So again, appreciate it. Again, big game tonight. Gamecocks women's taking on LSU. Savannah says, missed your score prediction. Here, let's jump back to the phone lines.
Call from
Brandon from.
Brandon, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. Hey, just one quick thing. I know the Facebook comments aren't working, but I just wanted to let everybody know if they haven't seen Devontae Reed transfer from Central Michigan is at Williams-Brice Stadium right now. Sounds like he's pretty damn good. Be a very good replacement for Mr. Foster.
Yeah, I actually did see that via social media. He tweeted out that he was visiting. So yeah, I mean, hey, listen, we could always use quality depth, and yeah, I think that'd be a good pickup.
Mm-hmm. But Facebook comments aren't working, so.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't know what's up with I don't know why the comments are out of whack. I guess Muschamp Packers are at work today. Either way. No, yeah, I don't know.
Or Muschamp himself.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely be a good pickup, and we'll Shane Beamer will add the guys we need, but certainly, the more the merrier in regards to quality depth. So. Yeah,
and I don't get people saying like, "Is he any good? Is he any good?" It's like, dude, they're not going to bring in dog shit. Like,
right.
I mean, I hate to say that, but they're not going to bring in somebody that's not going to contribute. So.
Right, they're going to bring in guys that can help.
Especially on the portal end of it, they're not going to bring in. Yeah. So. Yeah. All right, man. That's all I had.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Guys, again, just 5 minutes to go here on this Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. OU Owns You says, I heard a lot about earthquakes in SC. It's either that or Shane Beamer just got another recruiting win. Yeah, I think it's more of the recruiting wins. Savannah, again, score prediction tonight. I do have the Gamecocks winning. I think South Carolina gets a hard-fought win on the road, 79-74. I think it's a close game. Justin Langford says, can we stop Pittman, KJ, and Arkansas? Man, I want to see us take them down. It's going to be that's going to be a really fun game in week 2. Johnny Dozier says, I said we go 8-3 with a bowl win. Can't wait to hear the sound of the ball hitting the metal bats. I can't wait. No, I cannot wait, man. Gamecocks baseball just around the corner. Before you know it, guys, we're going to be talking baseball every single day. Going to be an absolute blast, man. I mean, obviously, I'm a baseball guy. Love it, dude. It's going to be incredible. Going to be one hell of a season. The Rowdy Rooster is going to be out and about. Going to be a good time. Going to be a very, very good time. Let's see here. Again, my way too early 2022 season predictions are out. My way too early predictions are out. I've got the Gamecocks at 8-4, 5-3 in SEC play. Which, guys, again, 5-3 in SEC play is the big one that stands out. That would be a fantastic finish. A fantastic finish. Let's see. Mike Hawk says, no one gives a shit about predictions. Results are all that matter. Mike Hawk, that comment is why I am a business comma man, and you are just some dude commenting on YouTube. Aaron Gibson says, Beamer should really create a staff position responsible for the elimination of the Muschamp hackers, indeed. Daddy-O, what's up, man? Final 5 minutes, best 5 minutes, man. That's the way I look at it. Horns down. OU Owns You says horns down. I hear you. OU Owns You says, all my homies love South Carolina, the real USC, and the real Carolina. Indeed. Nick Marshall says, it's the best. Indeed. Again, guys, like I told you, NCAA football content will be returning, I should say. I think we're going to do a Road to Glory with Spencer Rattler. I really just have to figure out in regards to where I can fit it in my schedule. So, let's see. Mike Hawk doesn't sound anything like my cock. I will just say my cock if I want to say that. Our mascot is the Cox. Like, there's no joke funnier than that. Anyways. Final couple minutes or so. Great podcast dropped today, like I said, guys. A lot of content rocking and rolling today with the way too early predictions. We got basketball upcoming on Saturday. Women play tonight. All that good stuff. Tons of content. Also, in case you missed it, by the way, the AP released their all bowl team, which seems like a very interesting all whatever team to release. But Jaheim Bell and Dakarrion Joyner named to the AP all bowl teams, with Jaheim Bell being listed as a tight end and Dakarrion Joyner being listed all purpose for the all bowl team. So, anyways, guys, great stuff here on a Thursday, June the 6th, 2022, the first week of the 2022 calendar year. So let's make it a damn good one. It is 2 o'clock, though, guys. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Be sure you tune into the podcast that dropped this morning. Also, our great conversation with Brad Lawing as we discuss the 2021 season, also 2022, Spencer Rattler, bowl season, the national championship, everything. Great combo there. It's on the Big Cock Club, patreon.com/Big Cock Club to hear that entire conversation. Guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.